So the other vulnerability we are going to look at is cross-site scripting. In 2021, it has been made part of injection because the SQL injection and cross-site scripting both occur at the input fields or data input fields. But still, you can say that's still one of the top 3 vulnerabilities. And there are 2 types of it, reflected cross-site scripting and stored cross-site scripting. So let us look at reflected cross-site scripting first. So those who might have worked with HTML know that there are different tags, for example, for a heading or HTML, etc. But if I say a script or type a tag of a script and then say something inside it, what I'm telling the server or the system is that whatever is written inside it should be executed as a command, because I've written or I have enclosed it inside the script. So let's see if, so there is a website, it has a data input validation field, and I try to see if this vulnerability exists in this particular data input field. So I entered it and I pressed logged in. So it didn't work. So let us see if there is any other data input field. So for example, I see a search bar. So I'll copy paste my command over here and I'll see if it works in this one. And you can see it gave me a dialog box or alert, which I wrote in the script. That means this website is vulnerable to reflected cross-site scripting. What that means is if there is an input field with not proper data validation, whatever I'm going to write in it inside the script, it's going to execute it on that server as a command. So potentially I can maybe delete files, upload files, create new users. I can do all sort of things because whatever I'm typing inside that data input, it's executing it as a command. So this is a huge vulnerability. And in the reflected cross-site scripting, whatever command I'm typing, it is being executed on that particular server. What's even more dangerous is the stored cross-site scripting. What happens in stored cross-site scripting is, let's say there is a comments field in a website. For example, there is a blog website or any other website where any user can come and add a comment, and if proper data input validation is not performed, and if something similar to this one is posted by a malicious user and it's get accepted and gets stored on the server, then what happens is that right now what we saw, that we ran a command, it will be executed on the server, or we will see the effect of it. But if it gets stored and it's being executed, then every time some other user visits that page and that comment is present on that page, it will execute on his or her system as well. So it's stored cross-site scripting, and even more dangerous because it will be affecting not just the server, but any other user that will access that page. So this comment is now saved. Someone who comes, will get the same alert. So let's say I log in and I get this alert. Why did I get this alert? Because someone else apart from me, I assume his name was Abhijit, had written this command in the page that is opened when someone logs in. So he had written these details in the test user, and it got stored on this website. And when I logged in as the test user, the same alert was popped up on my system. So what does this tell me? That this website is vulnerable to stored cross-site scripting, because someone else, Abhijit, saved these details on the page that is displayed when someone logs in, and the same alert pop-up came when I logged in. Completely different user. So this is a huge vulnerability. And just like SQL injection, what we need to do is to make sure that input validation is done where data is being taken from users. For example, we can put checks that special characters should not be entered, or we can say that whatever should be entered should be considered as text, not executed as command. So there are different checks that we can perform, but these are two very huge vulnerabilities and most commonly found. And even on some platforms like HackerOne, this vulnerability is most common and often gets a lot of bounty. So with that, we come to the end of reflected and stored cross-site scripting.